Good afternoon.
大家下午好。
It's good to be back with you today.
今天很高兴又能够再回到西区和大家在一起。
Some of you might not remember me, but a year and a half ago I was here, and I actually was not even a T4C minister yet.
可能大家不记得我，因为在1年半以前，我在这里做过一次的正道，因为那时候我在双城华人教会还没有做这个青少年事工的传道人。
And now many changes have happened. I am now T4C's youth minister.
很多事情在这过去的1年当中发生了。那现在我是双城华人教会全职的青少年事工的传道人。
And also now you have a full staff of pastors.
而且我们西区也有一个全时间的这个牧者。
So praise God for that.
我们感谢主。
Let us pray.
让我们一起低头祷告。
God, I pray that through the reading of your word, we will all come closer to you.
主啊，我们向你献上我们的祷告，通过你给我们的话语，我们跟你更加的亲近。
And I pray that we will recognize both your power and your love.
让我们能够更加清楚地看到你的大能和爱。
May your spirit move in our hearts today.
求圣灵帮助我们。
In Christ's name, amen.
那祷告奉主耶稣基督的圣名。
So today, I would like to share with you a message that I actually gave to the T4C youth group a few months ago.
今天我跟大家分享的信息是我在几个月前在双城华人教会青少年事工的一系列的信息当中的一讲。
This message comes out of a series we did on the basics of our faith.
这个信息也是在双城华人教会青少年建立他们信仰基础当中的系列中间的一个信息。
We went through the Nicene Creed, which is a statement written 1,700 years ago summarizing most of the most fundamental beliefs of our Christian faith.
当时我们和青少年一起学习了尼西亚信经，也就是1700多年的一个声明。这份声明表述了基督徒信仰当中最基本的信仰宣言。
So it's not scripture and it's not fully inspired by God, but it is an important document from our church history that helps to unify Christians around the very basics of our faith in Christ.
这份宣言并不是这个圣经的经文，也不是全然由神所说出来的话，但是它是在教会历史当中一个很重要的一份文献，因为它帮助统一了基督徒在信仰当中的最基本的信仰真理。
So in this series, we talk about God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, as well as God's judgment, baptism, and communion.
在这个尼西亚信经当中提到了圣父、圣子、圣灵，以及神的审判、敬礼和圣餐这一些重要的条例。
And today, we will look at what is perhaps the most basic part of our Christian faith.
今天我们所要谈到的是基督徒实际上最基本的一个关键的一个概念。
And it's actually so basic that you may not have even considered it in these terms before.
它这个概念如此的基本，以至于我们很多人在过去可能没有意识的去思考。
Many people have asked the question, who is God?
很多人会问这样一个问题：神到底是谁？
But I just kind of wonder how many of you have asked the question, what is God?
我不知道我们在座的人当中有多少人曾问过神到底是谁？
And this is the question we'll be looking at today.
这就是我们今天要看的一个问题。
So the first few lines of the Nicene Creed, that 1,700-year-old statement, helps answer that question. And so here's what it says.
1700多年前的这个尼西亚信经，就帮助我们回答了这个问题。
It says, we believe in one God, the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, of all things, visible and invisible.
这说到我们信独一的神，全能的圣父，创造天地和一切有形无形万物的主。
Let me read that just one more time, just to make sure we hear that.
我们再重新读一遍。
We believe in one God, the Father Almighty, the maker of heaven and earth, of all things, visible and invisible.
我们信独一的神，全能的圣父，创造天地和一切有形和无形万物的主。
So that's not really that remarkable at first glance.
所以，当我们第一眼看到这一节信经的时候，并没有什么异乎寻常。
But let me ask you this. What does it mean that God made all things visible and invisible?
所以我来问你们一个问题：我们这里谈到的神创造天地和一切有形无形万物，到底意味着什么？
For that matter, what does it mean that God made heaven?
就此而言，那么神创造天到底意味着什么？
Wasn't heaven always around?
不是天一直都存在的吗？
What exactly is this God that the Nicene Creed describes?
所以，到底尼西亚信经当中描述的这一位神，到底是什么样的一位神？
So to help answer this question, we're going to look at a story in the Bible that you've probably heard at least a bit about, but maybe not in its entirety.
所以我们今天会借助圣经的经文来看这一个观点。那么这些经文也许你过去听过，但是也许没有听全。
The main character is a man named Balaam.
这个圣经当中的这一节经文当中的主人物是叫巴兰。
And you might know him from the story of Balaam and the donkey.
你们可能都听说这样一个圣经当中的故事：巴兰和那个会说话的鱼。
Balaam was not an Israelite. He was actually a sorcerer for hire, and who would never have been allowed in Israel in the first place.
所以巴兰并不是个以色列人，他只是一个被雇佣的一个当时叫魔法师。他像他这样的人是永远不会被以色列人所接受的。
So we're not going to focus so much on the talking donkey part because the fuller story is actually much more interesting.
所以我们今天不会专注在这个会说话的鱼的身上，因为整个的这段圣经的故事会更加的有趣。
So we will read most of Numbers 22 and 23 to see how it helps us answer the question, what is God?
所以我们今天会阅读民数记的22章到23章，来帮助我们来理解神到底是什么样的神。
So if you have your Bible, because it's such a lengthy passage, I would ask you to open it as well so that you can follow along. And it looks like we have some slides as well.
我们请大家把圣经翻到民数记的22章和23章，请大家有圣经的就把圣经打开到22章和23章。
And we've got two main characters here, and their names are similar, so you have to know Balaam is the sorcerer, and Balak is a king of Moab.
所以我们会分辨两个名字，一个是巴兰，是这个魔术师，还有一个是巴勒，就是摩亚王。
All right, we'll start in Numbers 22, verse 7.
我们会从22章的第7节开始读。
I'll read in English, and Bingwen will read in Mandarin.
我们会用中文和英文一起来读。
Balak, king of Moab's messengers, who were elders of Moab and Midian, set out with money to pay Balaam to place a curse on Israel. So they went to Balaam and delivered Balak's message to him.
摩亚的长老和米甸的长老首领挂金到了巴兰那里，将巴勒的话都告诉他了。巴兰说：“我们今夜就住在这里，我必照耶和华的话晓谕我回报你们。”摩亚的使臣就在巴兰那里住下来。
Verse 8, "Stay here overnight," Balaam said. "In the morning, I will tell you whatever the Lord directs me to say." So the officials from Moab stayed there with Balaam. That night, God came to Balaam and asked him, "Who are these men visiting you?"
所以神临到巴兰那里说：“在你这里的人都是谁？”
Balaam said to God, "Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent me this message."
所以巴兰回答说：“是摩亚王希波的儿子巴勒打发人到我这里来说。”
Look, a vast horde of people has arrived from Egypt, and they cover the face of the earth. Come and curse these people for me. Then perhaps I will be able to stand up to them and drive them from the land.
从埃及出来的民遮满地面，你来为我咒诅他们，或者我能与他们征战，把他们赶出去。
But God said to Balaam, "Do not go with them. You are not to curse these people, for they have been blessed."
神对巴兰说：“你不可同他们去，也不可咒诅那民，因为那民是蒙福的。”
The next morning, Balaam got up and told Balak's officials, "Go on home. The Lord will not let me go with you."
巴兰早晨起来对巴勒的使臣说：“你们回本地去吧，因为耶和华不容我和你们同去。”
So the Moabite officials returned to King Balak and reported, "Balaam refused to come with us."
所以摩亚的使臣就起来回巴勒那里去，说：“巴兰不肯和我们同来。”
Then Balak tried again. This time he sent a larger number of even more distinguished officials than those he had sent the first time.
所以巴勒又差遣使臣，比先前的又多又尊贵。
They went to Balaam and delivered this message to him. "This is what Balak son of Zippor says. Please don't let anything stop you from coming to help me."
他们到了巴兰那里，对他说：“希波的儿子巴勒这样说：求你不容什么事阻拦你不到我们这里来。”
"I will pay you very well and do whatever you tell me. Just come and curse these people for me."
因为我必使你得极大的尊荣，你向我要什么，我就给你什么，只求你来为我咒诅这民。
But Balaam responded to Balak's messengers, "Even if Balak were to give me his palace filled with silver and gold, I would be powerless to do anything against the will of the Lord my God."
巴兰回答巴勒的臣仆说：“巴勒就是将他满屋的金银给我，我行大事小事也不得越过耶和华我神的命。
But stay here one more night, and I will see if the Lord has anything else to say to me."
现在我请你们今夜住在这里住宿，等我得知耶和华还要对我说什么。”
That night God came to Balaam and told him, "Since these men have come for you, get up and go with them, but do only what I tell you to do."
当夜，神临到巴兰那里说：“这些人若来招你，你就起来同他们去，你只要遵行我对你所说的话。”
So it's at this point that Balaam runs into the problem with the talking donkey.
所以从这里开始，这个巴兰就和他的驴子就发生了冲突。
When you read it, it's actually kind of a humorous account, and it's intended to be so.
所以当我们读这一段的时候，觉得这一段的这个故事很有趣，甚至有些幽默。但是这是事实上是圣经有意识的这样写，
I mean, it's a talking donkey.
是一个会说话的驴子。
But for Balaam, it was a stark reminder that this God wasn't just a what that he could control with his magic.
所以对巴兰来说，这个神并不是他想象中的能够用他的魔法来控制的神。
Instead, God is a who, a person who can choose to do really ridiculous things if he wants to.
所以对巴兰来说，这位神是有自己的意志的，并且可以做比较有趣甚至滑稽的事。
So we'll talk about this more in a minute.
我们待会儿可以看到这些。
If you have a chance to read the full story tonight, I encourage you to do that.
如果你们有机会能把这几节经文都看完整个这个事件的话，我希望你们能够这样做。
But for right now, we'll jump over the talking donkey part to when Balaam arrives to see King Balak.
所以现在我们就跳过这个巴兰和会说话的驴子这一段，直接到巴兰到达了摩亚地和巴勒王见面的事件。
So we are in Numbers 22, verse 36.
所以我们看到民数记的第22章36节，22章36节。
When King Balak heard that Balaam was on the way, he went out to meet him at a Moabite town on the Arnon River at the farthest border of his land.
所以巴勒听见巴兰来了，就往摩亚京城去迎接他。这城是在边界上，在雅嫩的河旁。
"Didn't I send you an urgent invitation? Why didn't you come right away?" Balak asked Balaam. "Didn't you believe me when I said I would reward you richly?"
所以巴勒对巴兰说：“我不是急急的打发人到你那里去招你吗？你为何不到我这里来呢？我岂不能使你得尊荣吗？”
Balaam replied, "Look, now I have come, but I have no power to say whatever I want. I will speak only the message that God puts in my mouth."
在巴兰说：“我已经到你这里来了，现在我岂能擅自说什么呢？神将什么话传给我，我就说什么。”
So what I wonder is, why does Balaam have to emphasize this over and over again to King Balak?
所以我觉得奇怪，就是为什么巴兰要不停反复的向巴勒强调，神对他所说的话。
Time and again, we have heard Balaam say to the king, I'm not in control. I can only say what God allows.
所以我们看到反复的巴兰向巴勒说，我并不能擅自做主，我只能说或者做神让我说或者做的事或者话。
And so even with that reminder, why does the king still ignore him and still expect that Balaam will be able to call a curse down on Israel with or without God's permission?
所以尽管巴兰不停地向巴勒有提出这样的警告，但是为什么这个摩亚王巴勒反复地忽视了他的警告，而且不停地让巴兰做无论神允许不允许他要做的这些事情，来施咒诅对以色列人。
The answer is in what the king does next in Numbers 22, verse 39.
所以这个答案就是在这个巴勒王所做的事情，在下面的39节这几节经文。
It says, Then Balaam accompanied Balak to Kiriath-Huzoth,
巴兰和巴勒同行，来到基列胡所，
where the king sacrificed cattle and sheep. He sent portions of the meat to Balaam and the officials who were with him.
巴勒就宰了做献祭的牛羊，送给巴兰和陪伴的使臣。
So this actually gives us the biggest clue as to how King Balak answers the question, what is God?
所以这就给了我们一个很大的线索，就是为什么这个巴勒王会回答这样的一个问题。
And it has to do with how ancient non-Israelite peoples view their gods.
所以所有的这些都基于在古代的时候非以色列民他们怎么样看待他们认为的神。
These were not gods that the peoples loved and wanted to worship. They were actually not even really viewed as persons.
所以他们这些神并不是这些人真正的爱戴，并且愿意去敬拜的。他们这些神甚至都不是作为人来看待。
They were viewed as persons to some extent, but they were basically just personifications of natural things.
所以他们这些神实实在在的并不是有人的神，但是他们只是自然物体的人格化。
For instance, Baal was the most revered god of the Canaanites, basically because he was the storm god.
所以古代迦南人他们最敬畏的神叫巴利，巴利呢是一个他们认为是掌管这个暴风雨的神。
Storms can be scary, so Baal was a scary god.
所以风暴、暴风雨有的时候是很可怕的，所以对迦南人来说，巴利也是一个他们敬畏的神。
But storms can also bring in new crops. So Baal was also a fertility god, the god of making things grow.
但是暴风雨也带来了这个农作物的生长，所以巴利从某种程度上说，也是一个催生五谷丰登的神。
And making things grow was extremely important for these ancient Canaanites who needed food to grow for their families.
所以对于上古的这个迦南人来说，催生农作物生长对他们来说是重要的，因为他们需要食物来喂养他们自己和他们的家庭。
So how exactly did they approach this storm god Baal, who they thought could give them the rain and crop growth that they wanted?
所以他们是怎么样来到这个他们敬畏的巴利的神的面前，让他能够给他们所要的风雨，使得五谷丰登呢？
They did what King Balak did. They gave him sacrifices.
像巴勒一样，迦南人也是给献上祭，他们的祭物。
Cows, sheep, sometimes even children.
牛羊，甚至是他们的孩子。
They would give Baal something so that they would get what they wanted.
所以他们给巴利所有他想要的，所以他们希望能够从巴利那里得到他们自己所要的。
Of course, Israelite sacrifices were not this way at all.
但是以色列人献祭和这个却截然不同。
And God actually says repeatedly over and over and over in the Old Testament, do not do what the other nations do.
所以在旧约当中，神不停地晓谕以色列人不要像外邦人那样去献祭。
And that's because Israelite sacrifices were a symbol of Israel's sin and God's forgiveness.
因为以色列人所献的祭是代表他们认罪，同时希望求神赦免他们罪的一个表象。
But the other nations' sacrifices were about control over the gods.
但是外邦人所献的祭只是为了控制他们所相信的神。
So, since this was how King Balak of Moab thought, how would he answer the question, what is God?
所以对于巴勒王来说，这是他们心中所想象的神。那么他们怎么来回答神到底是什么这个问题呢？
Well, in today's language, he would say that God is a vending machine.
用现在的话说，他们认为神就是一个自动售货机。
He's a powerful being, but he will do what I want if I give him enough what he wants.
虽然这个神有能力，但是他们只仅仅是我给他们他要的，他要给我要的。
So here is what I mean. How does a vending machine work?
所以我们都知道自动售货机是怎么工作的。
You put $1 in the machine,
不是自动售货机，
and you get a pop-out.
给1块钱给自动售货机，你会得到一瓶可乐。
No need for this vending machine to be personal.
我并不需要和这个自动售货机有个人的关系，
You don't have to love this vending machine.
你也不需要爱这个自动售货机。
This vending machine will not hold you accountable for doing bad things.
这个自动售货机也不会为你所做的坏的事情负任何的责任。
A vending machine has no other purpose than giving you what you want.
所以这个自动售货机除了给你要的东西，并没有其他的意义。
And so, when it does not give you what you want,
如果拿到给自动售货机1块钱，它没有东西给你，
Aya!
你会对自动售货机吼叫。
When it doesn't give you what you want, you get to kick and scream because it's not working.
所以你就会踢这个自动售货机，摇它，并且向它吼叫。
So, that is what King Balak thinks he's doing with God when he gives God all these sacrifices.
这就是巴勒王对神的看法。他给这个他自己所相信的神献祭，神必须给他所要的东西。
He's trying to put $1 into God so that God does what he wants.
所以他需要把1块钱放在神的像这个自动售货机一样，这个神就要给他所要的东西。
And what he wants is for Balaam to call down a curse on Israel.
他要的就是向以色列施咒诅。
And actually, Balaam himself, for a while, thought that this was how God worked too.
所以对巴兰来说，他曾经一度也是这样看待神。
But God has made very clear to Balaam already that God is not a vending machine.
但神却清楚地向巴兰启示了，神他自己并不是一个自动售货机。
This is why I think God does something so ridiculous as make a donkey talk.
所以这就是为什么神做了一件很滑稽的事情，让这个驴子向巴兰说话。
Like, really, who would think of such a thing?
谁会想到这个主意呢？
Only a God who neither Balaam nor King Balak nor anyone in the entire universe has any control over at all.
除了神，不会有第二个人想，也不会是巴兰，不会是巴勒，世界上没有一个人会想到用这样的方法来启示巴兰。
And this is what Balaam tries to keep warning King Balak about.
这就是为什么巴兰不停地向巴勒王做出这样的警告。
But the king is not listening to Balaam's warnings.
但是这个巴勒王却不听从巴勒的警告。
He seems to be very used to getting what he wants.
他似乎已经习惯了，他想要得到的东西就得到。
So, let's turn back to the text and see how things turn out.
所以我们再继续看下面的经文。
Balak has made his sacrifices, and now it's time for Balaam to ask God to curse Israel.
所以巴勒献上了他的祭物，现在该轮到巴兰向以色列人施咒诅。
We'll read Numbers 23, verses 3 through 12.
所以我们会看23章的第3节到第12节。
So Balaam went alone to the top of Bear Hill.
所以巴兰和巴兰上了一个净光的高处。
And God met him there. Balaam said to him, I've prepared 7 altars and have sacrificed a young bull and ram on each altar.
所以神迎见巴兰，巴兰说：“我预备了7座坛，在每一座坛上献了1只公牛和1只公羊。”
This is Balaam saying, I've given you your money, now please give me something back.
所以这就是巴兰说：“神，我已经给了你你要的东西，现在你要给我我要的。”
The Lord gave Balaam a message for King Balak. Then he said, go back to Balak and give him my message.
所以耶和华将话传给巴兰说：“你回到巴勒那里，要如此如此的说。”
So Balaam returned and found the king standing beside his burnt offerings with the officials of Moab.
所以他就回到巴勒那里，他看见摩亚的使臣都站在燔祭的旁边。
And this was the message Balaam delivered. Balak summoned me to come from Aram. The king of Moab brought me from the eastern hills. Come, he said, curse Jacob for me. Come and announce Israel's doom.
所以巴兰便提起诗歌说：“巴勒引我出亚兰，摩亚王引我出东山。来呀，为我咒诅雅各；来呀，怒骂以色列。”
But how can I curse those whom God has not cursed? How can I condemn those whom the Lord has not condemned?
神没有咒诅的，我岂能咒诅？耶和华没有怒骂的，我岂能怒骂？
I see them from the cliff tops. I watch them from the hills. I see a people who live by themselves, set apart from the other nations.
我从高峰看他，从小山望他，这是独居的民，不列在万民当中。
Who can count Jacob's descendants as numerous as dust? Who can count even a fourth of Israel's people? Let me die like the righteous. Let my life end like theirs.
谁能数点雅各的尘土？谁能计算以色列的1/4？我愿如一人之死而死，我愿如一人之终而终。
And that was not Balaam saying, I want to die. That's him saying, I hope I am blessed as much as these people are.
这不是巴兰说我要去为他们死，他只是说这是神对他们的祝福。
Then King Balak demanded of Balaam, what have you done to me? I brought you to curse my enemies. Instead, you have blessed them.
所以巴勒就对巴兰说：“你向我做的是什么事呢？我领你来咒诅我的仇敌，不料你竟为他们祝福。”
But Balaam replied, I will speak only the message that the Lord puts in my mouth.
但是巴兰回答说：“耶和华传给我的话，我能不谨慎传说吗？”
So this is where we have to stop for today.
所以我们就停在这节经文当中。
But believe it or not, the story is not finished.
但是无论你相信与否，这个故事并没有在此结束。
Balak actually tries 3 more times to get God to curse Israel.
巴勒在后面又用3次试图让神来咒诅以色列。
He's like a frustrated guy who keeps kicking the Coke machine to make his pop fall out.
他就相当于一个受到了失败的沮丧的人，不停地在踢这个自动售货机。
But Balak and Balaam are not the ones in control.
但是无论是巴兰还是巴勒，他们都不是主宰者，
God is.
神是主宰者。
So our question is, what is God?
所以我们再回到我们原来的问题：神到底是什么？
Why is he described in the Nicene Creed as the Father Almighty, the maker of heaven and earth, of all things visible and invisible?
为什么在尼西亚信经当中提到的神是那圣父独一的真神，天地和有形无形万物的创造者？
Well, it's because God is not a part of creation.
因为神并不是被造的物体之一。
The reason so many people in the ancient world thought that they could control the gods was because the gods they believed in were basically another part of the created world.
上古的很多的人，他们相信他们能够控制他们所相信的神，是因为那些神他们认为也是被创造物当中的一部分。
These gods that they believed in were not the first cause. They were not pre-existent.
这些他们认为的神，并不是宇宙创造的起始的原因，也不是在创造以前就存在的。
These gods themselves were created, and they were a part of creation.
这些神是这些人所创造的，所以他们也是被创造当中的一部分。
These gods they believed in were creations, not creators.
他们认为的这些神，只不过是被造物，而不是创造者。
They were vending machines that basically took sacrifices instead of money.
所以这些神也只不过是自动售货机，只不过他们所收的不是钱，而是祭。
But this vending machine God idea only works if the God is subject to certain laws like you and I are.
但是这些自动售货机般的这些神的这个概念，他们之所以工作，是因为他们也服在你和我一样的，同样的服在这个自然的律律下。
If someone kicks us in the back of the knee, we fall.
如果有人在我们的后面踢我们的这个膝盖，我们会跌倒。
If someone gives us enough money, we do what they want.
如果有人给我们足够的钱，我们也许会做他们所我们想做的事。
If someone, at least what they believed, if someone sacrifices enough children to Baal, Baal will give you rain for your crops.
所以像当时的人一样，他们认为他们向巴力献上足够的婴孩，巴力也会让他们风调雨顺、五谷丰登。
But not Yahweh.
但是不是耶和华神。
Our God is not able to be controlled.
我们相信的神是不是为人所控制的？
God is not willing to do what I want or what you want just because we do certain things for him that we think that he wants.
神不会像做我们想要他做的，也只是因为我们做了我们认为神要我们做的这些事情。
And this is why we can't do enough good things to earn our salvation.
这就是为什么我们不可能通过做很多的善事来拥有神的救恩。
Some people think that if I just pray enough prayers, if I volunteer enough hours, if I forgive enough people, then God will have to let me into heaven.
有些人认为，我们如果有足够的祷告，我们去做足够的义工，我们去原谅很多的人，神就必须或者应该给我们救恩。
He'll have to save me, or at least he'll be obligated to be nice to me.
或神就必须来拯救我们，或者神有这样的义务来给我们我们所要的。
But it does not work like that.
但是事实上不是这样。
You can't do enough good things to be perfect.
我们无法做好事，让我们变得完美。
You can't do enough good things so that God is obligated to give you salvation, or that he must give you a good grade on your test, or he must make your children honor you.
我们无法做足够的好事，让我们认为神有这样的义务给我们救恩，或者有义务让我们能够在我们的考试当中得到好的成绩，或者说让我们的孩子能够成功，让父母得到荣耀。
He is the Creator, Father God, and we do not earn or deserve his love and salvation.
所以他是一个父神，是宇宙万物的创造者。他是真的爱，是我们所不配的，他的救恩也是我们真的不配。
And that is why that it is so surprising and wonderful that this uncontrollable God chooses to love us and chooses to save us if we admit that we are sinners and accept that Jesus came and died for our sins.
这就是为什么当我们承认我们是罪人，并且接受耶稣基督为了我们的罪而死的时候，神就按照他的意愿选择来决定来拯救我们，来给我们爱我们。这个真的是非常的神奇，和超出我们的想象。
God is not a what that can be controlled like some kind of vending machine. God is a who chooses to love us and save us through Jesus Christ.
神不是人所能控制的自动售货机，神是通过他自己的意愿来爱我们，借着耶稣基督来拯救我们。
So this week I pray that you submit yourself to this uncontrollable God.
所以这个星期我会为大家祷告，我祷告希望你们能够把自己仰望交托给这位不受人所控制的神。
May your life reflect your recognition that God is not in your control.
所以让我们的生活能够反映出我们对神的认知，那就是神不是为我们所掌控。
And may you accept God's unfathomable love that is given to us without us deserving or controlling any of it.
所以让我们这样能够接受神那不可测度的爱，这个爱让我们真的是我们不配，也是我们无法掌控的。
Let's pray.
让我们一起祷告。
God, we recognize you for who you are.
神，我们感谢你，让我们更好的能够认识你到底是谁。
You are not a God who we can control.
你不是我们能够掌控的神，
You are our creator.
你是我们的创造者。
We confess that we try to control you.
我们必须向你坦诚的认罪，我们试图来控制你。
And we thank you that in your sovereign choice, you have decided not to push us away, but that you have offered us forgiveness and grace through Jesus Christ.
我们感谢你，因为你让我们看到你是一个至高无上的神，你的爱是借着耶稣基督来拯救我们。
And I pray that everyone here accepts your offer and places you as the uncontrollable God of our lives.
我们愿意接受你向我们伸出的这个爱，也愿意接受耶稣基督做我们的救主。
In Jesus Christ's name, amen.
我们这样祷告，奉耶稣基督的圣名。